Well, at first we used Study Island as a tool for all students, and we actually introduced it as a homeschool connection. We sent letters home to parents and gave them their individual students' passwords. The parents loved it so much that they started to bug teachers to use it in the classroom. And once it caught on with teachers, they actually started asking for more and more use of the program and access to the program. So at first we used it with a differentiated population of students who were in need, students who perhaps may be at risk academically, but now we use it equally with all students. So we've actually written our own protocols around normal use. We call that classical Study Island or classic Study Island, but we also use it as a benchmarking tool. As a curriculum director, I made the decision 2 years ago to introduce this as our primary benchmarking tool, and it has worked wonders for us ever since.
I've been using Study Island the last 3 months, both as remedial work for students who are struggling in reading and math and science, and for enrichment work for students who are, I won't say bored, but need more challenge in their academics.
She started discovering it as a way to create some tutorials. Before we even got into any kind of assessment, she was just looking at it to kind of remediate for kids who were not quite getting what she was doing, or she needed to move on to the next topic, and this was a way to help those kids who were still struggling a little bit to kind of make sure that they weren't falling farther and farther behind, that they were getting reinforcement that she couldn't individually provide, but this was a way that those kids could still get the reinforcement.
It also helps teachers know that what skills specifically their children are having difficulty in which they may need to reteach or pull a small group and work with them during lunch recess, or just to provide them some extra support.
I also find that our students who are in advanced courses aren't necessarily studying the grade level standards because they're in 9th and 10th grade courses. So what we do at Explorer is we have those bright students use Study Island very close to the Ames test so that their mind is refamiliarized and reacquainted with the standards that they're going to be tested on. And we have noticed that those students, by having them use Study Island prior to Ames, they move from meets to exceeds, which is where our brightest students should be performing on Ames.
I like that I can lower the levels, making it a little bit easier for some of the kids that are struggling. We can also do the same and go the other direction. We can raise the level of passage. I have found that over the last 5 years that the more completion rate we have for the students, the better they do on their Ames.
I have 2 teachers that come in at 7 a.m. Our kids don't actually start till 8, and we run 2 full labs with Study Island in the mornings, and then we use it throughout the day, and then we use it in after-school tutoring programs as well, so it's used constantly.